All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC. We're the best reviews wrestling and your three-time YWC channel. The year not back here. It is now officially Monday, November the 10th of 2025. So I figured I'd go ahead and get a video in here. I do have a late day, unfortunately, but I figured I'd go ahead and get this in here early while I'm thinking about it. It's about 1 a.m. and 1 p.m. I should say. Jesus Christ. And I don't know if you can tell, well, I mean, I got the jacket, I got the hood up because it is quite cold today, more so than it was yesterday, like by a considerable amount. Like yesterday, it was nice, it was decent. I probably didn't even need a jacket. I wore one anyway because I got into the habit because it is fall. And then I come out here today, it's freaking chilly, there's a breeze, and it's just like bone-chilling cold. This is November weather right now. I don't know exactly what temperature it is. It's got to be like 50, maybe even lower than that, but it feels cold. You know, cold enough that I need the hood up and, you know, wear this jacket and all that kind of stuff out here while I'm out. So, but you know, the sun is out. It's not too bad, but yeah, needless to say, it's pretty chilly. But anyway, wanted to go ahead and do this video while I'm thinking about it because I want to talk about something that has been in the news, something that has been announced recently, courtesy of AEW All Elite Wrestling, something that has been a talking point for the last few days since it was announced by AEW, and something that has, I guess, stirred up a discussion, debate, and even discourse within the community, within the online community, the IWC, whatever have you, when it comes to wrestling fans and so on and so forth. So, for those of you who are unaware, there is a new championship that has recently been announced that AEW is going to very soon introduce to their ranks. I'm not talking about the AEW Women's Tag Team titles. Those came out weeks ago. There's already a tournament. The tournament is underway, and a new AEW Women's Tag Team title, or title holders, the new AEW Women's Tag Team Champions will be decided at, I believe, Full Gear. Well, actually, yeah, it should be decided at Full Gear, because, again, the tournament is still ongoing. So, we got another couple weeks between now and Full Gear. So, I believe that the finals of that tournament will be at Full Gear. So, those champions, the first ever, the inaugural AEW Women's Tag Champions, will be decided on that show. And another title that will be decided at that show is the newly announced AEW National Championship. Yes, that is the name. AEW National Championship. It was announced by AEW, by Tony Khan himself, where basically AEW is introducing a brand new title, and I imagine it's going to be a mid-card title. And the thing about this title is it's basically being done in the honor in the legacy of the old NWA, because back in the day you had NWA, you had, you know, the National Wrestling Alliance, and a couple other promotions as well did this, you know, way back in the day during the days of the territories and whatnot, when there was, you know, when the territory promotions and so on and so forth had, like, you know, allegiances and things of that nature. But anyway, so this is being done in homage of, in honor of that. And pretty much the unique thing about this championship is it will not only be defended in AEW, it will be defended across multiple different promotions. Like all of AEW's, all the promotions that AEW is partnered with, it will be defended in AEW, in Ring of Honor, of course, in CMLL, in New Japan, and also there's a couple other promotions that were listed. I believe MLW, or Major League Wrestling, and there's a number of other promotions, but those ones specifically that I just named, it will be defended. It will be defended primarily across multiple promotions. So basically, it's going to be an interpromotional title that AEW is going to be christening here, and there will be a casino gauntlet match at Full Gear to determine the inaugural AEW National Championship. So we'll see what happens in regards to that. Several wrestlers they've already announced several wrestlers who are going to be competing in this match, so on and so forth. Now, if you guys know, Casino Gauntlet is, of course, one of AEW's, I guess you could say, one of their more interesting, generally speaking, match stipulations that they can have, where every so often you'll have, like, two wrestlers will start, and then in a random interval somebody else will come out. And the match, the thing about it is it's not like a typical battle royal, is where obviously the way a wrestler wins is via pinfall or submission, and the match can end at any point in time. Like, if any wrestler, whoever gets the first pinfall or submission wins the match. All the participants in the gauntlet match don't even have to come out. The match can end, like, literally with just the two guys. So, you know, Casino Gauntlet is always a fun match to watch. It has been for the last several years, you know, since they've done it. But anyway, so the inaugural AEW National Championship will be decided at Full Gear, along with, of course, the finals of the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships, where we were crowned the first ever inaugural AEW Women's Tag titles. But anyway, so since the title was announced by AEW, and I think they showed it, and it was a decent look. I have to, check again because, the visuals of the title, like, because there are different, pictures that I've been seeing. So I'm not quite sure, like, maybe I missed it, but I'm pretty sure they showed it at least briefly. I might have missed it. But anyway, so I think they have showed it, and it was a decent looking title, at least from the images that I've seen. But anyway, so since this title has been introduced, you've had all sorts of people out there who have been talking about it. Again, it's a very heavy discussion in regards to AEW introducing this new title. Now, one of the biggest things that I've been hearing, of course, as you would expect, you got the same group of people, the same group of individuals who come out there and argue that, this is one of the main things I've been hearing. One of the main things I've been hearing is complaints about AEW adding a new championship, talking about, AEW is introducing new title. They're introducing another title. It's too much. AEW has too many titles already. They don't need another championship. AEW's putting out too many titles. And blah, 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 blah. And all that freaking nonsense that they always... Every time AEW does this, they find the reason to complain about it. Every time AEW introduces a new championship, these people find a way to complain about it. And it's like, folks, get over yourselves. All right? People, to the people complaining, let me just address these specific individuals real quick. The ones who keep saying, AEW has too many championships. No, it's not. It's not too many titles, okay? One thing that you guys have to keep in mind is that AEW is a big promotion. They have almost 100, if not more than 100 wrestlers on the contract. I'm not including Ring of Honor. I'm just talking about the main AEW talents, or the talents distinctly under AEW contract. AEW has 100 wrestlers, almost 100, if not over 100. I know they've released some people in the last year, but I think they still got a big roster. They got a very big roster. They got a multitude of talents up and down the card, both for the men's side and the women's side. Granted, again, I'm not injured, whether they be injured, active, whatever. They got close to 100 people under contract. AEW does. So I think that's more than enough of a justification to have as many titles as they do. And each title serves a specific purpose. You have the main title, the World Heavyweight title, which obviously is the main prize everybody fights for. That's the main event. Then you have tag titles, trios titles, because again, there's a tag division and there's a trios division. You have women's titles, you have a women's mid-card title. Now they're introducing women's tag titles because they're going to have a AEW women's tag team division. We'll see how that goes. I think so far, so good. We'll see what happens. And then they got mid-card titles, the TBS title, the TBS title is the mid-card, women's mid-card title. The TNT title, which is, again, mid-card for the men's. And then they got the Unified Championship, which before that, it was two separate titles. It was the International title and the Continental title, which, I guess technically speaking, the Continental title was like the prize for the Continental Classic, which is, of course, going to be like... the Continental Classic, the tournament that's going to take place in December. Every year for the last couple of years, it took place in December. I'm sure that's going to, they're going to continue that trend come December, in another month or so. But, yeah, the Unified Championship, which is basically the International title and the Continental title, merged into one after, of course, All In, but with the match between the two champions, Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega, you had a unification match, the titles were merged together, and thus it has been christened the AEW Unified Championship. So basically, if you think about it, they subtracted one title, or they merged two titles together, two into one, so that subtracted a title, and now they're adding another title back. So I really don't like, and those are all the titles in terms of AEW. So what is that like? If I can just list them off real quick, you got the AEW World's title, AEW Tag titles, AEW Trios title, AEW TNT title for the men. Again, that's the men's mid-card title. The Unified Championship, Women's World title, Women's TBS title, and they're introducing Women's Tag titles, so that's 8, and then this National Championship makes 9. So that's 9. 9 titles. 9 championships. That's not a lot of titles. Maybe on the surface, if you think about it, maybe on the surface to the untrained eye, maybe to the uninformed, ignorant individual, that may seem like a lot of titles. But keep in mind, you look at WWE, for example. Look how many titles they have on the roster. Look how many titles WWE has right now. They got, a Undisputed title, World Heavyweight title, They got 2 sets of tag titles, 2 sets of women's titles, 2 sets of women's mid-card titles, and then they have the United States Championship and Intercontinental Championship. That's 10. And I don't know if they have a cruiserweight title right now. I'm pretty sure they don't. I think they I think they retired that or whatever. But WWE in main roster WWE has 10 titles. 10. That's not including NXT. If you add NXT titles, that makes what? NXT is another, 5, 6 more, including NXT? That's like 16, 17? But AEW has too many titles. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, seriously. And that's not, again, and also, they got all these other affiliated promotions. They got Evolve. Evolve has their own title. They got these Speed Championships for the men's and women's side, so that's 2 more you add to that. And then, what's this other show? LFG, I think, Legends of Future Greats. They have a title for that, and it's like they got all these titles, be it between the main roster WWE for Raw and SmackDown and NXT and all their other developmental promotions. They have all these freaking titles. Yet nobody complains about that. But AEW adds another title. Oh, it's too many titles. AEW has too many championships. Oh, it's oversaturation. Settle down. Settle down. It is not oversaturation. It's not too many titles. It's freaking 9. If you include the 2 that are coming, if you include the 2 that have just been introduced, the AEW Women's Tag Titles and this national title, that's 9 titles. That is not too many. It's like, get over yourselves, people. It's not that big a deal. Now, going forward, if you ask my opinion of it, I think it's a decent idea. Like, again, that prospect of having a title be defended across multiple promotions, I think is an interesting concept. I think it's an interesting idea. I think that's what they used to do back in the day, back during the days of the territories. Like I said, NWA, AEW, I'm sure they had all that. I think that's where Tony Khan and AEW got this idea from in the first place. And there was also some people arguing, what was the promotion? NWA, the current modern day NWA has the national title. It's like, okay, who cares? Okay, promotions name titles after promotions have titles that are named after other older championships all the time. So what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, the bulk of the people who are complaining about this, to me, are just finding something to complain about. To me, they're just complaining for the sake of complaining. It's like, it's not too many championships. They have a huge roster, so it's more than justified to add another title. Not everybody can fight over, again, a men's title. If we're talking singles, just singles competitors, if you have a world title, TNT title, and a unified championship, which is 3 titles in terms of the men's singles division, and then you add another one, it's like, you got freaking over 100, almost 100 counts on your roster, all right? It's not too many titles. It's like, get real. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I think a lot of people are arguing too that, they merged the Continental title and the International title into one, and then they created a national title on top of that. So basically the national title is the new international title. And it's like, I guess in some ways it's kind of confusing, because at one point you had an international title, now you're creating a national title, and it's all kind of convoluted. If you're not paying attention, it can be convoluted. So I understand that. Idea. Like, what was the point of merging the international title with the Continental title if you're just going to create another championship? But at the same time, it's like, I understand why they're doing it, and I personally think it could be a good thing. Having an interpromotional title that will be defended across multiple promotions, not just AEW, I think it'll be a good thing. I think it'll be a good thing down the line. So just wait and see. It's a wait and see thing. But all these people complaining, just to me, for the sake of it, just because they have to find something to complain and bitch about when it comes to AEW, when it comes to the promotion, it's just silly. It's just stupid. There's no reason to have such discourse and be all up in arms over a championship being introduced. It's not too many. It's not too many. Now, if they start freaking, if they came out and introduced like 5 new titles just randomly, then yeah, that would be something. But they got 9, including the 2 that are being introduced. 9 titles. It's not a lot. WWE has more on the main roster alone. So I don't know what you people are complaining about. It's like, just wait and see what they do. Wait and see what happens. For all we know, it could be the best thing they got going in terms of the mid-card division. It could give some of these other guys who aren't holding titles right now an opportunity to really fight for something. I think it's nothing but good. You have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say for that. Oh, and another thing is, now that there's a national title being introduced, I wonder what that is going to mean for this unified title. Because if you remember, the Continental Championship was a part of the unified title as well. So will the unified title be defended in the Continental Classic, or will they create a separate like prize, like maybe some type of cup or some type of trophy that the winner of the Continental Classic gets? I don't know. We have to wait and see. I think, again, all this is yet to be determined. But I'm a sort of person who, let's wait and see what happens. Let's see how it goes. You know, that's just how I am. That's just how I look at it. But all these people complaining for the sake of complaining makes no sense. Okay? Stop bickering for the sake of it if you have nothing legitimate to bicker about. But anyway, that's how I see it. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I got to say for that. So go ahead and give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. What do you think of this new national title? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it will be prosperous? And do you think it will help AEW in the long run, help the talents in the long run? Go ahead and hit me up. Let me know. And be sure, as always, to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support you get. Be sure to like the video, leave a comment, like I stated before. And that's pretty much all I got to say for that. So I'm going to head in a little bit here. But thank you for watching once again. Until next time, Wrestling Otaku signing off here. And I'll see you guys with some more content throughout the week. But anyway, for now, till next time, Wrestling Otaku, I'm out. See you guys later. Peace.